Do excuse me for a moment while I compose myself. I appear to have stumbled upon a truly magnificent discovery, a series of top 10 books that are, quite frankly, hysterical. Now, these aren't your typical inspirational reads. Oh no. If you're after something that oozes poor taste, mild brutality, and just the right amount of insult, congratulations, you've come to the right place. Because why settle for a polite gift when you could offend a friend instead? Stick with me till the end of this video. There's bound to be a title that makes you think, yes, that's exactly what Aunt Margaret deserves after last Christmas. If you've got a soft spot for sarcasm, dry wit, deadpan delivery, and the kind of humour that makes you wonder whether to laugh or apologise, you're in for a treat. The mischief maker behind these gems is Peter Yexley, writing under the gloriously tongue-in-cheek pen name Paige Turner. So, make yourself a cuppa, sit back, and let's dive into the deliciously inappropriate world of the Top 10 series. Let's face it, your grip socks are still in the drawer, your core is on strike, and neutral spine sounds more like a mood than a position. Top 10 reasons why you shouldn't do Pilates unless you enjoy controlled suffering and overpriced socks. This book by Dr. Paige Turner and Peter Yexley is the brutally honest, laugh-out-loud guide to the cult of Pilates and why it's probably not your spiritual calling. Inside this gloriously unfiltered little book, you'll discover the real meaning of boutique fitness. Spoiler, it's code for expensive trembling, what scoop your abs actually means emotionally, not anatomically, the truth about that post-class mirror selfie, self-care or content farming, the unspoken battle of every reformer class, the silent fart war. It's the perfect read for the friend who claims Pilates is their personality, the one who activates their core once a month, or literally anyone who's cried during the 100. This isn't an anti-Pilates rant, it's a permission slip to skip class, wear normal socks, and move your body without a side of suffering, because honestly, you deserve joy and your $28 back. Buy it for the Pilates lover, hater, or hypocrite in your life. Perfect for fans of fitness, satire, body positivity, and stretching while snacking. There's a link below to buy this book. Gift idea alert, a book for anyone who thinks owning a drill makes them handy. Let's be honest, your garage looks like a hardware store exploded, and your only completed project is a hole in the wall. It's Top 10 Reasons Why You're a Crap DIYer, All the Gear But No Idea by Dr. Paige Turner and Peter Yexley. A brutally funny, painfully accurate look at every weekend warrior who swears they can fix it right before breaking it worse. Inside this delightfully self-aware little book, you'll discover the truth about tool hoarding, I'll use it someday, equals still unopened, Pinterest dreams versus reality, that floating shelf, that floating disaster, blame-shifting brilliance, it's not crooked, the house is. The eternal weekend lie, I'll finish it tomorrow. It's the perfect read for anyone whose toolbox is full but their walls are not. The DIY dad who claims teaching moments mid-meltdown. Anyone who's ever spent more time charging a drill than using it. This isn't a how-to manual. It's a reality check with a wink, a permission slip to call a professional, laugh at your mistakes, and admit that maybe, just maybe, super glue isn't the solution to everything. Because perfection is overrated and so is repainting the same wall 4 times, Buy it for the overconfident fixer in your life or yourself. If you're currently standing in a pile of wood shavings wondering where it all went wrong, perfect for fans of home improvement, humour, domestic chaos, and the fine art of pretending you totally meant to do that. There's a link to the book below. I've just come across yet another gem in the top 10 series, and honestly, this one may have changed me forever, or at least made me feel morally superior for the afternoon. It's called Top 10 Reasons Why You Should Be a Vegetarian, a guilt-free guide to moral superiority, mostly guilt-free, written by Dr. Paige Turner, that's the ever-brilliant Peter Yexley in disguise. Now, a small warning before you rush off to buy it. Reading this book may result in an uncontrollable urge to compost, a deep disdain for anyone who eats bacon, and a newfound passion for correcting strangers about sustainable protein. This 30-page masterpiece is a deliciously sanctimonious parody written in the voice of that one vegan friend we all have, the one who insists they're not judging but somehow definitely is. Inside, you'll discover 10 irrefutable truths such as plants don't scream as far as we know, and frankly, the lack of Yelp reviews is quite comforting. Your carbon footprint is ugly, and so is your steak, because apparently one burger equals 3,000 miles of guilt. And my personal favourite, you'll finally have an excuse to judge everyone compassionately. Of course, it's written with faux spiritual gravitas and absolutely no irony. Well, except for all of it, whether you're a reformed carnivore, a self-declared eco-warrior, or simply someone who enjoys being gently shamed over avocado toast, this book is for you. You can find it on Amazon. The link is conveniently tucked below, so you can begin your journey to moral enlightenment the moment this video ends. So grab your herbal tea, light a cruelty-free candle, and prepare to ascend, because top 10 reasons why you should be a vegetarian just might make you the most enlightened person at brunch. For anyone who's ever called chocolate self-care and meant it, finally, a scientific-ish defense of your chocolate habit. If you've ever hidden a bar in your desk, like it's state evidence, justified dessert as mental health, or promised to start your diet right after this brownie, congratulations, you're not weak. You're wise. Top 10 Reasons Why Chocolate is Good for You by Dr. Paige Turner is a sweetly sarcastic celebration of everyone who knows happiness comes wrapped in foil. Inside this delightfully unscientific little book, you'll discover that dark chocolate is basically a superfood fight me, that lowering your stress with sugar is, in fact, emotional intelligence, that it's cheaper than therapy and comes with fewer side effects, that your hidden stash is actually medicinal. You'll also learn how to justify your indulgence as heart health, reframe guilt as gratitude, and recognize that the only bad chocolate is the one you didn't eat. Perfect for people who think moderation is overrated, anyone who's ever whispered, "I deserve this" to a truffle, and those who believe antioxidants are just another word for cocoa solids. This isn't a diet book, it's a love letter to joy, sweetness, and the sacred ritual of just one more square. Buy it for the chocolate lover, emotional snacker, or anyone who's ever hidden M and Ms behind the kale. Warning: may cause smug happiness, spontaneous nibbling, and complete disregard for serving sizes. A link to buy the book is in the content below. Top 10 reasons why I'm not a vegetarian is for anyone who's ever been judged for ordering the steak. Let's be honest, this isn't a defense of factory farming. It's a defense of enjoying your cheeseburger in peace without being shamed by someone waving a kale smoothie Top 10 reasons why I'm not a vegetarian, even though my food craps on theirs by Dr. Paige Turner and Peter Yexley is a hilariously unapologetic, tongue-in-cheek tribute to meat lovers everywhere. The ones who've tried tofu, survived it, and vowed never again. Inside this gloriously irreverent little book, you'll discover why tofu is less food and more texture-based trauma, how plant-based meat manages to taste like sadness and disappointment, why your salad isn't judging you but the person who made it probably is, and the shocking truth, your ancestors didn't survive the Ice Age for you to eat zucchini noodles. It's the perfect read for omnivores who love flavour more than virtue, ex-vegans who couldn't quit bacon, anyone who's ever said, I'll eat what I want, thanks, and everyone who believes cheese is a lifestyle, not a garnish. This isn't a manifesto. It's a permission slip to laugh at food, snobbery, embrace imperfection, and admit that sometimes happiness really does come medium rare. Because food should feed your soul, not your guilt, buy it for the unapologetic carnivore, the barbecue enthusiast, or that one friend who brings real butter to vegan dinner parties. Warning, may cause spontaneous grilling, excessive eye-rolling at food influencers, and an uncontrollable desire for bacon. As usual, a link to buy the book is in the text below. Top 10 Reasons Why You Shouldn't Do Yoga is the book for anyone who's ever confused mindfulness with mild panic. Let's be honest, your yoga mat still has the price tag on it, your leggings cost more than your rent, and your anxiety definitely didn't dissolve with that last downward dog. Top 10 Reasons Why You Shouldn't Do Yoga. Unless you enjoy expensive stretching and spiritual gaslighting by Dr. Paige Turner and Peter Yexley is a wickedly funny, all too relatable send-up of the modern wellness circus where peace comes with a price tag and enlightenment is sold by the hour. Inside this cheeky little book, you'll discover why your $90 moon-charged mat smells faintly of regret, how breathe into your hips translates to ignore your hamstring pain, why yoga influencers whisper good vibes only while editing reels for 3 hours, and how to accept that being flexible doesn't automatically make you a better person. It's the perfect read for anyone who's ever bought crystals to fix their love life, recovering wellness addicts who peaked during their juice cleanse, people who've cried during Savasana, mostly because their phone was on airplane mode. This isn't an anti-yoga rant. It's a gentle reality check wrapped in sarcasm and spandex, a permission slip to stretch like a normal human, skip the sanctimony, and stop pretending kale is a mood. Because peace shouldn't cost $40 a class, buy it for the yogi, the skeptic, or that one friend who still thinks namaste means the light in me honors my brand. Warning. May cause spontaneous laughter during meditation, eye-rolling at wellness influencers, and total liberation from overpriced coconut water. One more thing. There's a link in the blurb below. Top 10 Reasons Why You Can't Sleep is for anyone who's ever argued with their own brain at 3 a.m. Can't sleep? It's not you, it's your 3 a.m. brain throwing a surprise party for every mistake you've ever made. Top 10 Reasons Why You Can't Sleep. A darkly comic guide to 3 a.m. overthinking, doom scrolling, and why your brain won't shut up by Dr. Paige Turner and Peter Yexley is the brutally honest bedtime story for grown-ups who've given up on bedtime. Inside this hilariously relatable little book, you'll discover why just relax is the most insulting advice in human history, how your brain turns into a motivational speaker and a doomsday prophet at once, why your dreams aren't meaningful, they're just nonsense with bad editing, and how to trick your mind into shutting up temporarily. At least it's the perfect read for people who scroll until their phone drops on their face, chronic overthinkers who can't stop rehearsing fake conversations, anyone who's ever Googled, can you die from lack of sleep at 4 a.m.? This isn't a sleep guide, it's a comforting wink from someone who gets it. A reminder that you're not broken, just stuck in the world's longest internal monologue, because sometimes laughing at your insomnia is the only thing that helps you rest. Buy it for the night owl, the anxious dreamer, or that friend who texts you up, unironically because they actually are. There's a link in the text below. Warning, may cause mild self-awareness, sudden affection for weighted blankets, and the radical act of charging your phone outside the bedroom. Gift idea alert for anyone who's ever eaten kale and regretted it. Tired of diets that leave you hangry, broke, and convince your body is a full-time disappointment? You're not the problem, fad diets are. Top 10 reasons why fad diets don't work, a satirical guide to kale cleanses, and why your body isn't broken by doctor. Paige Turner and Peter Yexley is the hilarious, liberating reality check we've all needed, because life's too short to count almonds. Inside this brutally honest little book, you'll discover why clean eating is really just judgment with better marketing, how the $4.5 trillion wellness industry profits from your self-loathing, why quick fixes are just long-term guilt wrapped in detox branding, and how to eat bread again without summoning diet culture demons. It's the perfect read for anyone who's cried into their zucchini noodles, former juice cleansers in recovery, people who've ever whispered cheat meal like it's a confession, and everyone who suspects their protein powder tastes like freshly mown regret. This isn't a diet plan, it's a permission slip to stop punishing yourself, start enjoying food, and realize your body isn't broken, it's just bored of restriction, because eating should feel like living, not like penance. Buy it for the diet dropout, the wellness skeptic, or the friend who still thinks celery juice is a lifestyle. Warning, may cause spontaneous joy, unapologetic pizza consumption, and immediate unfollowing of every Fitspo influencer on your feed. Do you still tell everyone about that knee injury that stopped your pro career? You wear the £200 boots and replica jersey, but your first touch is a war crime. Introducing Top 10 Reasons Why You're Crap at Football, your brutally honest reality check. Discover why shouting man on doesn't make you a leader, and other harsh truths. This book is comic therapy for every weekend warrior with Premier League delusions. Perfect for dads who still wear shin pads just in case and blame the ref. Grab this savagely hilarious book and finally laugh at yourself between missed shots. For anyone who thinks rest is just a fancy word for failure, you're not lazy, you're just exhausted from pretending you're not. The Top 10 Reasons Why You Need to Slow Down, Less Hustle, More Meaning by Paige Turner and Peter Yexley is a darkly funny, painfully relatable, and quietly rebellious handbook for everyone who's ever answered "How are you?" with busy, like it's a badge of honor. Let's be real, the world has turned burnout into a lifestyle brand. You're told to rise, grind, hydrate, manifest, optimize, monetize, and somehow still have glowing skin. This book says, absolutely not. Sit down, have a biscuit. Inside this brutally honest little guide, you'll discover why busyness isn't purpose, it's avoidance. how your personal brand is slowly draining your will to live, why your self-care routine feels like another unpaid internship, and the radical truth that slowing down isn't selfish, it's survival. With wicked humour and uncomfortable accuracy, Paige Turner dismantles hustle culture one caffeine-fueled delusion at a time, reminding us that peace doesn't come from productivity, it comes from pausing. It's the perfect read for overachievers who make rest a competition, burned out professionals who schedule relaxation like a meeting, anyone who's ever taken a mindfulness course and got stressed about not being mindful enough, and people who own 6 journals and the same number of breakdowns. This isn't a productivity hack. It's a wake-up call wrapped in sarcasm and self-awareness, a 28-page permission slip to stop sprinting toward nothing and just breathe. Because maybe the point isn't to do more, maybe it's to feel something again. Buy it for the overworked friend, the tired parent, or yourself. Because even rebels need a nap. Warning, may cause spontaneous naps, unproductive joy, and the shocking realization that rest is not a reward. Links to all these books are in the text below. For anyone who thinks the one that got away is a personality trait. Let's be honest, your garage looks like a fishing store exploded, your tackle box is a chaotic shrine to overconfidence, and your cooler is emptier than your excuses. Top 10 reasons why you're not a good angler. All the Gear But No Idea by Paige Turner and Peter Yexley is the brutally funny, darkly honest confession. Every weekend, fisherman needs a loving roast. For those who talk like pros but fish like poets, all words, no catch, you know the type. They've spent half their salary on gear they can't pronounce, chatterbait, anyone. They claim it's not about the fish, while secretly plotting revenge on a smug nephew with a sunfish. They post blurry Instagram selfies captioned "respected and released of a fish roughly the size of a Pringles can." Inside this painfully accurate and only slightly cruel little book, you'll discover why your secret spot is literally on Google Maps, how the moon was wrong doesn't count as a valid excuse, why your fancy lure is basically jewelry for fish, and how your knots are held together by pure desperation and divine intervention. It's a masterclass in self-delusion, gear obsession, and the eternal optimism that somehow next weekend you'll finally land the big one you won't. Perfect for weekend anglers with more rods than results, dads who call it teaching the kids but secretly keep score, anyone who's ever cried over a bluegill smaller than a tea bag, the mate who thinks camo waders make them invisible to fish. This isn't a fishing manual, it's a permission slip to laugh at your own incompetence, ditch half your gear, and remember why you fell in love with fishing in the first place. Not for the catch, but for the quiet and maybe the beer, because fishing isn't about success, it's about patience, peace, and pretending you meant to miss that cast. Buy it for the angler in your life. Link in the text below. For anyone who's ever mistaken their cat for a poltergeist, is your house haunted or just in desperate need of insulation? Top 10 reasons why your ghost isn't real. A skeptical guide to hauntings, poltergeists, and that weird draft in your apartment by Paige Turner and Peter Yexley is the darkly funny, tongue-in-cheek guide every easily spooked adult secretly needs, because sometimes the only thing that's truly supernatural is your electric bill. Let's be honest, that cold spot in your hallway, draft. That whisper in the night, your neighbor's podcast. That broken mug, your cat. Again, and that eerie feeling you're being watched, just your reflection at 2 a.m., wondering why you're awake? Inside this wickedly skeptical little book, you'll discover why your ghost only shows up when you're alone and half asleep, how your haunted house might just need better plumbing, why your ghost's favourite hobby seems to be flickering lights, and how every EVP recording ever made sounds suspiciously like a fridge. Paige Turner takes a sarcastic swing at the world of amateur ghost hunting, fake hauntings, and self-inflicted paranoia, exposing the truth behind every creak, shadow, and mysterious presence that's probably just bad wiring. It's the perfect read for paranormal enthusiasts with trust issues and drafty apartments, the friend who's watched too many ghost hunting shows, cat owners living in constant fear of unseen forces, anyone who's ever Googled "can ghosts text at 3 a.m." This isn't a ghost story, it's a public service announcement with sarcasm and salt. A permission slip to stop burning sage, start fixing your windows, and admit that maybe your haunting is just poor life choices and worse lighting. Because ghosts aren't real, but anxiety and poor insulation definitely are, buy it for the wannabe ghost hunter, the anxious tenant, or that one friend who insists their Alexa is possessed. There's a link below for anyone who's ever mistaken their cat for a poltergeist. Is your house haunted or just in desperate need of insulation? Top 10 reasons why your ghost isn't real. A skeptical guide to hauntings, poltergeists, and that weird draft in your apartment by Paige Turner and Peter Yexley is the darkly funny, tongue-in-cheek guide every easily spooked adult secretly needs, because sometimes the only thing that's truly supernatural is your electric bill. Let's be honest, that cold spot in your hallway draft, that whisper in the night, your neighbor's podcast, that broken mug, your cat. Again, and that eerie feeling you're being watched, just your reflection at 2 a.m., wondering why you're awake. Inside this wickedly skeptical little book, you'll discover why your ghost only shows up when you're alone and half asleep, how your haunted house might just need better plumbing, why your ghost's favourite hobby seems to be flickering lights, and how every EVP recording ever made sounds suspiciously like a fridge. Paige Turner takes a sarcastic swing at the world of amateur ghost hunting, fake hauntings, and self-inflicted paranoia, exposing the truth behind every creak, shadow, and mysterious presence that's probably just bad wiring. It's the perfect read for paranormal enthusiasts with trust issues and drafty apartments, the friend who's watched too many ghost hunting shows, cat owners living in constant fear of unseen forces, anyone who's ever Googled "can ghosts text at 3 a.m." This isn't a ghost story, it's a public service announcement with sarcasm and salt. A permission slip to stop burning sage, start fixing your windows, and admit that maybe your haunting is just poor life choices and worse lighting. Because ghosts aren't real, but anxiety and poor insulation definitely are, buy it for the wannabe ghost hunter, the anxious tenant, or that one friend who insists their Alexa is possessed. There's a link below for anyone who's ever been kinda, sorta, basically dating, but not really. Let's be honest. If you have to ask what you are, you already know. Top 10 signs you're in a situationship. And not a relationship. A hopeful guide to emotional ambiguity, ghosting, and why you are your real soulmate by Dr. Paige Turner and Peter Yexley is the brutally funny, painfully relatable reality check for anyone currently stuck in the grey zone between it's casual and I hate myself. You know the signs. They know your coffee order, but not your birthday. They text WID at 11:47 p.m. And never before, they say, I'm not ready for a relationship, but still expect good morning selfies. And somehow you've met their dog, but not their friends. Inside this savage little handbook, you'll discover how to tell the difference between taking it slow and being emotionally unavailable, why we don't need labels is code for you're not the only one, the foolproof test for spotting a red flag before you marry it, and how your cat, your plants, or your peace and quiet are better soulmates anyway. Dr. Paige Turner, certified dating app therapist and survivor of 12000 swipes, dives headfirst into the chaos of modern romance with a mix of dark humour, painful truth, and just enough hope to make you believe that maybe, just maybe, you deserve more than a you up. Perfect for serial texters waiting for clarity that's never coming, friends who call it exclusive but haven't seen each other in daylight, anyone who's ever thought we're basically together, right? And everyone who's deleted then re-downloaded Tinder more times than they've been on dates. This isn't a dating guide, it's a rescue mission for your dignity, wrapped in sarcasm and self-respect, because the real love of your life? Probably you and maybe your cat. Buy it for your emotionally unavailable friend, your heartbroken self, or that one mate who insists it's complicated. For anyone who's ever been kinda, sorta, basically dating, but not really. Let's be honest. If you have to ask what you are, you already know. Top 10 signs you're in a situationship and not a relationship. A hopeful guide to emotional ambiguity, ghosting, and why you are your real soulmate by Dr. Paige Turner and Peter Yexley is the brutally funny, painfully relatable reality check for anyone currently stuck in the grey zone between it's casual and I hate myself. You know the signs. They know your coffee order, but not your birthday. They text WID at 11:47 p.m. And never before, they say, I'm not ready for a relationship, but still expect good morning selfies. And somehow you've met their dog, but not their friends. Inside this savage little handbook, you'll discover how to tell the difference between taking it slow and being emotionally unavailable, why we don't need labels is code for you're not the only one, the foolproof test for spotting a red flag before you marry it, and how your cat, your plants, or your peace and quiet are better soulmates anyway. Dr. Paige Turner, certified dating app therapist and survivor of 12000 swipes, dives headfirst into the chaos of modern romance with a mix of dark humour, painful truth, and just enough hope to make you believe that maybe, just maybe, you deserve more than a you up. Perfect for serial texters waiting for clarity that's never coming, friends who call it exclusive but haven't seen each other in daylight, anyone who's ever thought we're basically together, right? And everyone who's deleted then re-downloaded Tinder more times than they've been on dates. This isn't a dating guide, it's a rescue mission for your dignity, wrapped in sarcasm and self-respect, because the real love of your life? Probably you and maybe your cat. Buy it for your emotionally unavailable friend, your heartbroken self, or that one mate who insists it's complicated.